My name is Jessica Lafreniere, and this is my discussion video on A Rose for Emily by William Faulkner. This was my first time reading the story, and the subject of my reflection paper was that Emily, the main character of the story, lived searching for the acceptance and love that she lacked from her family and her community until the day that she died. So I think a lot of the reason Emily was perceived as such an outcast was because of the time period. She was kind of seen as strange and unusual because of her marital status. She remained unmarried for her whole life, and it's kind of implied that the reason she remained unmarried in her 30s is because her father had run off all of her suitors. And regardless of Emily's reasoning, she did remain unmarried for her whole life, which is an unusual choice for someone in the 1930s. So after Emily's father passed, she initially received a lot of support from the townspeople. They came and checked on her, and when she was in denial of her father's passing, they were understanding towards her. However, when she started to see someone in the town in a romantic sense, and do something that was kind of unconventional for the times, the 1930s, see someone outside of her socioeconomic status. She was a wealthier person, and Homer, her romantic interest, was a laborer who was not interested in marriage. And I think Emily, after her father's passing, was in a weakened mental state. There's rumors from the townspeople that perhaps mental illness runs in her family because of her great aunt Wyatt, and they describe her as crazy and insane. So some mental illness could play a part in what happened next here. But after Emily became involved with Homer, and it's said that he's not the marrying type, Emily purchased some arsenic. And we see the townspeople are being very judgmental towards Emily, but all of a sudden, she never comes out of her house, and Homer's never seen again. And, of course, reading to the end of the story, we can infer what happened. We can infer that Emily gave the arsenic to Homer so that he would never leave her. And I think that this is a very tragic end to this story, because the hair on the pillow next to Homer reveals that perhaps Emily had been going to lie with him in this chamber of her house that nobody knew about. And in the end, Emily was left with no one but the long gone victim of her fear of abandonment.